Joining us now live via Skype is public school parent and spokesperson for parent advocacy organization Speak Up, Esmeralda Fabian Romero. We're so happy to have you with us this morning, Esmeralda. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. Give us some insight. We just heard Julie, and how she's approaching this online learning with her kids. Is the feedback similar from other parents?
Yeah, well, we know that nationwide, about 600,000 families decided not to send their kids to or enroll their kids to kindergarten this year. And we know in Los Angeles Unified School District, 6,000 families decided not to enroll their kids this school year. So we know many parents are deciding, to skip this school year for their kindergartners. But unfortunately, we know that families in low-income households, they don't actually have the luxury to provide any type of learning at home. Some of them have to go out to the jobs, and they're not able to supervise the learning of their children at home. So we know that there is a disparity right there.
Oh, yeah, the disparities are huge. There's no child care. It's really impacting our communities of color.
That's right, and there's so much complexity by way of getting students back to school. So what do you think it's going to take to get students back on campus? What does LA Unified need to do?
I think in particular, LAUSD needs to, first of all, show a plan on, when kids can return to classrooms, what are they going to do? We as parents, we don't know anything about, what's their plan. How are they going to be making up for those learning loss that many students experience during distance learning? So I think most of all, parents need to know what's their plan to increase the student achievement, which was, something that we were expecting before the pandemic. But now, after the pandemic, we need to see a plan on how they're going to make up for that learning loss while schools were closed.
Is LAUSD offering any help, particularly to the low-income communities and students who don't have some of the resources others have?
Well, that's something that we at Speak Up and along with other community organizations we've been pushing for. We are calling for LAUSD to actually give the opportunity to those families with the most vulnerable students and low-income communities, particularly families of color, to have the opportunity to have their children back in the classroom, because we know that state and local guidance allows for some of those high-need students to be back in classrooms and to receive some kind of in-person instruction, because we know that these students, including early learners, English learners, and special education students, they are not receiving the same of the enough learning through remote learning.
Yeah.
So we know they're missing out a lot of learning that it's critical, and we are calling for the district to provide some kind of option for these families.
Well, Speak Up is doing some really amazing work. This pandemic has only amplified the disparities in these hard-hit communities already.
It's an understatement, yeah.
Where there's food insecurity and so many other things, lack of Wi-Fi, etc. Thank you so much, Esmeralda.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Yes, with Speak Up. It's an important organization.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us. This is Your Morning on Spectrum News 1.